Welcome to Michigan in Focus, powered by thecentersquare.com. This episode features a piece by the Center Square's Therese Boudreau headlined, quote, "Michigan worker groups strip union bosses of collection powers, sue others," end quote. Here's the story. Nearly 6 months after the Michigan Legislature repealed right-to-work laws, more groups of workers are taking action against what they say are coercive measures of some unions to collect fees. Mechanics from Brown Motors in Petoskey and drivers from MV Transportation in Ypsilanti successfully voted recently to remove their union officials' powers to collect union dues from non-union members. The Brown Motors mechanics voted by 75% against the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, according to the National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation. The Teamsters also face a new lawsuit filed by nurses at Ascension Genesys Hospital in Grand Blanc Township, who say union bosses threatened to fire them if they didn't pay union fees. The MV Transportation drivers voted by 78%. The Right to Work Foundation said, against the Amalgamated Transit Union. The National Right to Work Foundation covered the legal fees for all 3 worker groups. National Right to Work Foundation President Mark Mix said in a release, quote, "Despite the fact that an overwhelming majority of Michiganders wanted right to work to remain in place, Michigan legislators repealed it on a narrow party line vote as a giveaway to the union boss puppeteers that fund their campaigns. We at the foundation are proud to help Michigan workers reclaim their freedom," end quote. The 2018 U.S. Supreme Court case Janus v. AFSCME ruled it unconstitutional for labor unions to extract agency fees from non-consenting, non-union member employees in the public sector. Right-to-work laws guaranteed private sector workers those same protections. With the repeal of right-to-work laws in Michigan 5 months ago, some union bosses are now making non-members pay union dues or risk losing their employment. The only way workers in Michigan can enforce dues is by a majority voting to remove the union's power to do so in a quote-unquote deauthorization vote, or by voting out the union entirely. The votes must then be certified by the National Labor Relations Board, the federal agency in charge of enforcing labor laws in the private sector. The transit union's website says it, quote, "fights for transit workers by helping them organize local unions, negotiate collective bargaining contracts between its members and their employers, representing members in disputes with management, and making sure that employers adhere to the provisions of their collective bargaining agreement," end quote. Teamsters Secretary-Treasurer Fred Zuckerman said in a release that repealing the right-to-work law means, quote, "workers have better safety standards, higher wages, a louder voice on the job, and the uninhibited freedom of association in the workplace that they need and deserve," end quote. The Center Square was unsuccessful getting comment from the transit union and Teamsters before publication. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com. This podcast was made with the assistance of AI technology. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.